Welcome. Let's get an ancestor message. Haven't done many ancestor readings since the new year, and I felt like, just tapping in, seeing what messages they have for you. Hope you're doing well, of course. Ancestors say, Mother of Air, boundaries. Number 35, which is also an 8. So Mother of Air, it's of course equivalent of the Queen of Swords, right? She seems like a maternal, like your grandmother maybe was a Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, or great-grandmother, someone in your lineage perhaps. Does not have to be. She could just be an energy of Queen of Swords. She could be a Capricorn or a Leo grandmother who's just embodying that message of set boundaries. Let's see. She could have been born in 1935. Stay true to what feels right for you. Honor your boundaries. Approach with discernment. Speak your truth. And make decisions based on your assessment of the facts. So we're talking logic here too. Be honest, upfront, and direct. Be aware. Even constructive criticism can be wielded like a weapon. When this blunt mama ancestor shows up, she wants you to be logical and unbiased with strong communication. I speak with clarity. The Mother of Air is a leader who brings wise crone energy. This matriarchal ancestor rules with an iron fist from the head and never the heart. Her compassion is often underestimated at first glance. Oral history says that this ancestor here represented on this card here is La Madama, an Afro-Caribbean spirit, gifted in intuition, oracles, and alchemy. She was an enslaved woman who worked on the plantations in the Spanish-speaking Caribbean. Are you suppressing your emotions? We all have those hard-edged queens in our lineage. You don't want to get on their bad side. Where can you use this wisdom in your life? Okay, let's get an animal spirit card to match up with what your ancestor is trying to tell you. Let's hone in on which part of this message is sticking out the most. Okay, is it setting boundaries? Is it speaking clearly and logically, instead of from an emotional standpoint right now, sticking to the facts, being clear with people up front and firm? Let's see. It's a lot. Let me shuffle these good. Okay. Haven't used these in a while. Alrighty. And we have grasshopper spirit Take a leap of faith. Okay. It's a number 30. Okay, I have a grandmother born in the 1930s. So it looks like the 30s are important here. You could be in your 30s. All right, let's do another one. Okay, another deck. What do you want them to take a leap on, or to go out on a limb on? Like, be more maybe in communication, because the Queen of Swords is air, communication. Setting those boundaries. Let's see. Can I get more from this deck? Thank you. Reward and recognition. Congratulations, your hard work will soon pay off and take you in the direction of your dreams. Acknowledge your efforts and own your power. I believe Grandma is saying own your power, acknowledge yourself, recognize yourself, reward yourself. It's on the way from others, but don't wait for that. Assess how proud you are and your achievements. Don't wait for the outside world. I'm just thinking of like Paulo Coelho. I remember in a documentary, he's a famous writer. He wrote The Alchemist. Speaking of alchemy, they mentioned in this deck. So maybe you use your powers of alchemy. Maybe that's really what your grandmother is pointing out here is alchemy. You might want to even look up that book, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. But I remember he said that he felt like a failure because he had been turned down by so many writing or publishing houses. All of his works of arts that became masterpieces worldwide. So, I mean, like, he's awesome. Hello. Eventually, they were recognized and noticed by, he got his breakthrough at some point. But before that, nobody liked his work. So, and he did not feel accomplished, though that work was so awesome. It was like genius. So imagine being that genius and waiting for validation. 20 years, and you're doing good work. I think people don't think in those terms, and they shouldn't wait for anyone outside of them to be proud of them. I think that's what your grandmother is saying. So maybe going on facts and not even from an emotional standpoint, take a step back, like a bird's eye view, and look at your work. Look at your accomplishments, look at your dedication, and assess if you were on the outside looking in at someone else, how would you feel or think that person should value their work? Take yourself out of it for an unbiased, as much as you can, unbiased opinion. I think that's what Granny's trying to say. Let's get one more. Oh yeah. It's all about inner peace. Peace with who you are. Peace with what you have to offer to this world. Peace in, let me see, how can I say? Let me read it. You are letting outside circumstances create turmoil and frustration within you. Remember, you always have the power to choose your response. Let inner peace attract a higher vibrational outcome for you. What I'm getting from this is that allow yourself to have inner peace. Let's start with the first line. Letting outside circumstances, I believe this is outside influences, outside opinions. Maybe even you went to a publishing house and they turned down your work. That outside need for validation, saying like, don't let it build up turmoil and frustration within you. Remember, you always have the power to choose your response. So you can respond in a way of, that's your opinion. You didn't see the value in my work. That's your perspective, but that's not everybody's perspective. You're one person. I'm not going to allow 1 or even 10 people, you know what I mean, to what's the, I'm seeing in one deck the criteria card in evaluation. I'm not going to let you evaluate me. I hear your opinion, but I still think my work is fantastic. And then that will give you an inner peace. You'll remain high vibrational about your work instead of in a low vibrational regard. My work sucks. I'm just not good at this. I should give up. Those kind of thoughts, those negative thoughts in your mind will not attract good things for you. So that's what Granny is trying to tell you in this message. Wow. Okay, Granny. And at the bottom here, she says, listen. Okay, listen. Maybe that's what she used to tell you when she was in the, material world. So I hope this message helps someone. I think it was very much needed for whoever it's aimed for. And I'll see you in the next reading.